Question: should equity members paying discounted subs who've never worked in the profession be allowed to vote and stand for the Equity Council?
Nigel Cecil, calling things out as you like it, especially for his fair-minded friends.
Hello, Jackabatis. Thank you for joining me, Nigel Cecil, entertainment entrepreneur, responding invariably on behalf of my viewers. You are very welcome, who sent in questions, observations and comments to moi, asking for our opinion. Isn't that right, Hilary? And the question this time, it's been hanging round for a few weeks or so apologies for the delay. But should equity members paying discounted subs who have never worked in the profession, never worked in showbiz, be allowed to vote and stand for elections to the Equity Council? The upcoming elections taking place later this year, so those who've never worked in the profession can now be nominated to stand for the Equity Council. And also, those who've never worked in the profession are able to vote for who they want elected to the Equity Council. Now, what influence, if any, no one is really sure, but is there a theory behind this change happening? When you think about it, when I've asked you that question, you may think, Nigel, we're not aware of this. What can we do about it? Realistically, very little, if in fact nothing, because the decision has already been taken by the Equity Council to allow these discounted members who've never worked in the profession to vote and stand for elections. Equity Council, the primary body that determines policy on behalf of you, the members, the professional members, may now be influenced by those who've never worked. The Equity Council, Equity, the trade union for professional actors, variety entertainers and other creatives across the United Kingdom. Now, what does this mean in practice? Well, later this year, you'll get a nomination booklet, the things that says, well, these candidates, these members are standing, and here's their, their statement. And they've got, 150, 200 words or so? I'm not sure of the amount. But nowhere in that statement is there any need to indicate that the person standing has never, ever worked in the profession. So that could mean, in fact, let's take the Midlands area, Birmingham, around there, Nottingham and Leicester and all sorts of places, a big area. Someone may stand as the Midlands Area Councillor to be elected to the Equity Council, and they could have a wonderful statement putting forward what they propose to do and represent on your behalf. But the one key bit of information they do not include is, should we tell you, we've never worked in the profession at all. Would that influence who you vote for? Well, I just leave that question with you, but it's a curious state of affairs, to say the least. And also, Hilary asked one other question. What happens with other trade unions? Do other trade unions allow non-workers to stand for election to their principal executive council, so a non-worker who's never worked in the area that trade union represents can take decisions and influence decisions on behalf of workers? It's really a strange state of affairs, isn't it? So please, why don't you let me know what you think by getting in touch? nigel.cecil@outlook.com. We'd love to hear your views. So the question again, and it really is this one: should equity members paying discounted subscriptions who have never worked in the profession be allowed to vote and stand for elections to the Equity Council. What do you think? To vote or not to vote? To stand or not to stand? What is in your best professional interests? Please let me know.